As you follow behind her, you stop to speak to an aproned, balding man you can only assume is the innkeeper. And the town will pay the investigator's room and board. Is this agreeable? The innkeeper cuts you a glance, but nods. Their business concluded, Mayor Anathram returns to you with a key to your room. Why did you hire me? I know your type, adventurer. Mercenary. Hero for hire. It doesn't matter what you call yourself. The people are scared, and they need someone. So I'm hiring you. And since you're an outsider, if you fail, it will not reflect badly on the town. Yeah, I suppose that makes sense. Thank you. You start to thank her, but she cuts you off. I do not yet know you, she says as she holds up her hand. And I may not get the time to do so if the killer gets you next. You're here for the people and for me. As long as you're investigating this young woman's murder, we will pay you for your stay. You will come to the town hall tomorrow, as tonight is not the time to discuss the details of the case. Sleep well. She nods once, though it is unclear whether it's a farewell or an agreement of some kind, and then returns to her duties, reassuring the funeral goers. You remain standing dumbfounded for a moment, as a figure breaks away from the crowd and moves towards you. It's Tomlin, the village herbalist and fiancé to the deceased. Hello, he says. His eyes are almost entrancing up close. I haven't met you yet. Did you know Maybelline? No, I just got here, to be honest. I just spoke to the mayor. She hired me as part of the investigation. He looks you over and nods, as if you passed some sort of assessment. Welcome then. Thank you for doing this for us. Please, come to my home whenever you need. I need to know what happened to my Maybelline. Yeah, sure thing. Anyway, have a good night. He gives you a smile that is dazzling, despite his sadness. He moves on to speak to the other guests, and you make your way to your room. We gain the benefit of a long rest. You wake up in a soft bed to a hot breakfast cooling outside the bedroom door. This is a much better living than camping by the road, so it's probably time to meet your benefactor. The inn's common room is a bustle of activity as quiet townspeople load flowers from the funeral into a wagon in front of the inn. The body of the deceased is already gone. After weaving your way through the workers, you find yourself outside where passers-by are deliberately ignoring the wagon full of blossoms. With the help of a few locals on the street, you make your way to the town hall. The town hall is a multi-storied building, but not much larger than the surrounding structures. It isn't made of the same timber walls as the rest of the town, and is instead a much sturdier stone, so it likely predates the town's growth. The door stands open and an aide greets you when you arrive. He shows you to the mayor in a large but simply appointed office in the back of the building. The room is dominated by a large, dark-stained wooden desk, where Mayor Anathram is working with a quill and ink pot. There is also an unlit hearth on one wall, and a couple of orderly bookshelves. There are no personal effects that you can see. A cushion and a bowl of water are set up next to the desk. The mayor's Mastiff is lounging there, watching you intently as you enter. You can greet the mayor, or pet the dog first. I do have a -1 in animal handling, which I believe it might be, but any chance you get to pet a dog, you should pet that dog. So let's pet the Mastiff. The dog growls, moving its considerable cheeks out of the way to bare its teeth. The mayor recommends that if you like your hands attached, you would be wise to remove it from the dog's reach. You believe her, and the dog, so you pull your hand back, intact. Better late than never to greet the mayor. Good morning, ma'am. You politely greet the mayor, and the dog lays its massive head back down on its paws. It continues to watch you closely, however. I'm grateful for your service, she says. You assume she's being genuine, but it's impossible to tell for sure with her stony delivery. She outlines the problem she's been having. a gruesome murder about a week ago. The town militia is fine against bandits or sheep rustlers, but this requires something different. The poor girl was mangled as if by a wild beast, but she was found within the town. And besides, she explains, you're an outsider, and therefore expendable. It's a mayor's role to protect the town, not every drifter that wanders in. The town will pay you 320 gold pieces to eliminate this threat. This fee is non-negotiable, and Mayor Anthram gives you the impression it would be bad for your health to try. If you accept the job, go to 48. If you reject the job, go to 5. We're here to accept a job. Yeah, that sounds most agreeable. Excellent, Mayor Anthram says in a gravelly tone you can only assume means she's pleased. Let us begin. Please speak to Maybelline's fiancé. He is a herbalist who lives at the western edge of the town, where he tends his garden and makes medicine for the townsfolk. That sounds like a good place to start. I'll take my leave then. Thank you. You thank the mayor and prepare to leave, but she holds up a hand. I also made arrangements with the general store. You may go to resupply anytime you may need to do so. It does not have as many goods as a big city, but it will likely have whatever you need. Chapter 2. Speaking to Tomlin. This morning, Langston seems to be back to normal. Townspeople bustle about their daily lives of working, shopping, eating, and gossiping. You guess that there are thousands of people in Langston, but you see very few people idle. Tradespeople ply their trades, smithing, weaving, building furniture, and baking bread. But laughter is just a little too spaced out. The sounds of hammers and hoofbeats seem just a little too loud. The air is charged with fear and grief, even in the light of day. You pass the wagon laid with flowers from the funeral once again, looking forlorn, alone in the street. So you now find yourself in a strange town with a substantial payday on the other end of a murder investigation. The victim is a young woman who was torn apart by a wild beast, but within the confines of the town. Your first lead is the dead woman's fiancé, but that's it. It looks like you have your work cut out for you.